welcome to another edition of My View in 2. Today's topic, my top 5 most hated Disney movies. Now, like all of you, unless you're about, 150 years old, or you live in a third world country where Mickey Mouse is banned, all of us have grown up with Disney in some way. We've all seen at least one Disney movie in our lives. There's no way around it. It's everywhere. And like all of you, I have Disney movies that I love, and I'll watch them over and over and over again. Even the older I get, I still watch them all the time. And then there are the Disney movies that I hate, frankly. Today I'm going to outline the top 5 of that list, because there's more than just 5, but we only have time for 5. And I'm going to stick to 2D animation because, well, those are the ones that I grew up with. So, to get us started, let's go with number 5. Dumbo. A lot of people like this movie. I don't know why, but they do. I suppose it's because there's a realistic enough relationship between the mother elephant and Dumbo, and the animation's pretty, I guess. I mean, it's very colorful, as the circus should be, but I don't think it justifies the rest of the film, because the film in general, I don't like the tone it has. I've never liked this movie. First off, I don't like how the mom is treated. I'm never satisfied with her situation by the end of the movie. It just doesn't feel like enough justice for the fact that she's been taken away from her child and she's been called insane and locked up, solitary confinement from the rest of the elephants. It just doesn't feel like enough justice for her, so that really drives me crazy. But then again, Disney's very abusive with their parents anyway. Alright, second, I don't like the way Dumbo is treated in this movie. He's turned into a clown, he's put on a 100-foot high dive, he's shoved off that high dive into tanks of water, which I'm pretty sure would kill him. I don't like the secondary characters of the other elephants. I think they deserved a lot worse than being pelted by peanuts at the end of the movie. I think they all should have just been put down or something, because they were just cruel. I hate them. The villain, if you could call it a villain of this movie, the ringmaster, just greedy. That's it. That's his whole ploy, is he's just greedy, which is very weak to me when it comes to Disney villains, although quite a number of them fall into that category. Anyway, let's get to the big freaking elephant in the room of why I really hate this movie. The pink elephant in the room. Yes, pink elephants on parade, which I believe is the trippiest moment in Disney animation history. It's just, it comes out of nowhere, literally. It just all of a sudden we go from this kind of sad moment where, you know, Dumbo gets drunk off champagne. Yeah, right, drunk, like there weren't some roofies or something in that alcohol. And he just starts, and the mouse too, they just start hallucinating all these crazy multicolored elephants, though most of them are pink. The song is creepy, the animation is just, just wow. Gives Dr. Seuss a run for his money. And honestly, I have always hated this sequence. It just scared the bejesus out of me as a kid. I really think that it qualifies as what the nostalgia chick, and I hate to steal this line, but what she calls a big lipped alligator moment. Like I said, comes out of nowhere, has nothing to do with the rest of the story, and when it's over, does anyone ever mention it again? No, can't do that, can't explain what the hell just happened to all the frightened children in the audience, because this does scare kids. I mean, I'm pretty sure most of them, they're trying to figure out whether they should be laughing or crying, but most of them end up crying. Alright, so it's just, is this movie bad? Well, no. Is it good? It's okay, I guess. I mean, to be honest, what is good about it, you know, the animation, like I said, the relationship between the mom and Dumbo, it's decent, and I was never even really bothered by the racist crows. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm white? I mean, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Or I was a kid and I didn't really think about it. I mean, I'm probably going to get crap about that later in the comment section, but I just I wasn't particularly bothered by the racist crows. I think it was, you know, kind of a product of the times, and even if it was racist for the times, it just, Disney's made slip-ups like that before, so why people nitpick on that aspect of the movie when there's so much more to it that's horrible, I don't know. Alright, anyway, so would I watch this movie again? Well, after rewatching it recently to do this review, I'd say heck no. I'm not gonna watch this movie for a very, 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 very long time. Alright, so let's move on. Number 4 of my top 5 list, it's actually a tie, because I couldn't decide which of these movies I liked least. My reasons for not liking them are very similar. Bambi and the Fox and the Hound. Why do I not like these movies? It's kind of the obvious reasons. Even if Bambi's is a bit more infamous for the reason why I don't like it, neither of them ends on a very happy note. And I'm never really satisfied with either of these movies. You've probably guessed by now why I don't like Bambi. Yeah, it's because the mom died. I mean, it's just, and it's not even that she dies, because parents die all the time in Disney movies. No, what bothers me is how it's handled. Because, go back and watch this movie again, I swear to God. We go from the death scene, and Bambi's like, mother, and just, there's not even a segue. We just cut straight to a bird taking a bath in the springtime and someone, like, singing a happy little tune. Just, what the heck, movie? Give us a moment to grieve, would you? Have some respect for the dead. Someone just died. Just. Okay. Alright, now on to The Fox and the Hound. If you don't remember this movie, I would not blame you. It's pretty forgettable all around. The animation is just okay. I mean, it was kind of a slump in Disney's history when this movie was made. They were kind of reaching when they made it. And it's a pretty bland story overall. It's just very grim and depressing is my main problem with it. There's just a bunch of moments in the movie where it doesn't feel like a happy Disney family film. It just feels like, I don't know, it's just very depressing. I mean, there's the moment when Todd's mother is killed, a la Bambi style. There's the moment Todd and Copper meet, and you just know from that first moment that it's not gonna last, nothing's gonna end good in this movie. And then, the icing on the cake, the moment when Todd sees all of the animal skins in the hunter's shed. I mean, that just conjures up so many happy memories, doesn't it? And I mean, this didn't occur to me until later in life, but, did anyone else think about the fact that maybe Todd's own mother's pelt is up in that shed? Yeah, think about that for a second. Like, it's just so, if that doesn't give you the willies, I don't know what will. But I digress. I think the only upside to Bambi is that it's pretty looking, and it has, no, it doesn't even have a song. Well, it does have a song, but it's not a very rememberable song. Obviously, I can't remember the song. But it's pretty, you know, a lot of kids liked it, I guess. I didn't. The Fox and the Hound doesn't even have that excuse of, well, it's pretty. It's not. It's not very pretty done. It's just sad and depressing. And by the way, but for both of these movies, I'm not going to be watching them for a really long time. Okay, so, as you can see, I have such a sophisticated system of checking my script. Okay, so number 3 is Pinocchio. And I know I'm gonna get hate mail for that, if I haven't already for the first 3 movies that we've done. Pinocchio's considered a Disney classic masterpiece, 8th wonder of the world film, blah blah blah. I don't think it is. The most famous aspect of this movie is the song. You know, when you wish upon a star, you know, that song. And yes, I know I have a horrible singing voice, but just bear with me for a second. That's the part of the movie that people remember most, I think, other than the whole, you know, turning into donkeys thing. I think that's the part that most people remember, is that it's the song. It's the big Disney song. It's a big part of the Disney culture. It's the most recognizable song of theirs. Whoops. You know, it's like, Pinocchio, it doesn't have bad animation, and, the Blue Fairy is really cool. Jiminy Cricket is, okay, sometimes annoying, but, you know, he's a very famous character. Geppetto's a pretty likable guy as a father figure. So what do I not like about this movie? Well, several things. But I think the most prominent is the dark aspects of the film. It's bipolar. I really think this movie's bipolar. We go from happy to sad to, oh my god, what is happening, to just, what the heck, in about 3 seconds flat, the whole entire time. It just flips emotions so quick, you know, and Pinocchio as a character, he's very flat, and when he's not flat, he's being stupid and gullible. And some people argue that that makes him seem more like a real boy, but I'm sorry, not all little boys are flat in character or stupid or gullible. It's just... I just think he has too much wood between his ears, to be honest. And even if this movie does end on a higher note, because he becomes a real boy, spoilers, I just don't think the ending of it justifies the journey it takes to get there. Okay, so we're counting down, and we are at number 2, Sleeping Beauty. When you think of the archetype of a typical princess in distress type of figure, Aurora/Sleeping Beauty, as people mostly remember her, she really fits the bill the most. She's the one that comes immediately to mind for the most part. Her character is flat, she's bland, she's boring. I'm not kidding you. The only thing she does is the movie, she sings, dances with a stranger, claims that she loves him, she cries, and then she sleeps. That's all she does. Okay, that's the extent of her contribution to the film that bears her name. Prince Philip is just, he's not much better, to be honest. I mean, he's very bland himself. He's, you know, some people make the argument that, well, he did fight to, you know, save her and everything. Not really. Not really. It just, he did stuff, but for the most part, it was the fairies that carried most of the weight. Which brings me to my next point. I really think this film should be retitled The Three Good Fairies, because they get the most screen time, they get the most character development, and they get the most lines, and they're the most likable characters in the film. I mean, honestly, I really like the fairies. I mean, they have some pretty good liners in there, like, the cake will be much stiffer once it's baked. That still makes me laugh every time I watch it, but, you know, it's just, I mean, even the villain, everyone really likes Maleficent as a villain. She's, you know, she's evil, she's dark, and she even calls upon all the powers of hell to dispel you. That's pretty serious. But, you know, even she's not completely developed, because it's like her big thing is that she's pissed off because she got snubbed at a baby shower. I'm sorry, but don't most of us try and avoid baby showers like the plague anyway? I mean, why would that bother you if you weren't invited to one? I mean, just seriously, think about that for a moment. Okay, so, just, you know, I think my main problem, as I said, is that the main characters are hardly seen in the film. You know, we hardly get any kind of development out of them. They're just kind of a means to an end. The story is mostly about the side characters, and while that does work in some movies, I just don't think it does here. So that's why this is on my list. And, you know, it's just... I mean, just like I said earlier, most people don't even remember that the princess's name is Aurora. Most people just call her Sleeping Beauty. And that pretty much sums up my whole point. Can't even remember her name because she doesn't do anything. Alright, so to make a long story short, this is one fairy tale that I'm pretty sure I'm not going to watch again, even if I can't remember most of the plot. What plot? Okay, so, to wrap this up, this is the moment you may or may not have been waiting for if you're still with me. You might have already clicked over to a cat video, and I wouldn't blame you. But this is my #1 most hated 2D animation Disney flick. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Yes, I know, it was Disney's first full-length movie. Yeah, I acknowledge it was advanced for the time. Yes, I get that they didn't really have the formula worked up yet for the perfect movie. I know. That aside, here's what sticks out as being really bad about this movie. The main characters and the tone. I'm sensing a pattern here with these movies all of a sudden, are you? Okay, so Snow White is a very bland princess. I mean, if you thought that Sleeping Beauty was bland, Snow White is like a blank sheet of paper. She's just, you know, there's nothing really to her. She's well drawn, even if she has no boobs, because I think she's like 13, which makes me wonder whether her marriage to the prince is legal or not, but, you know, that's about all she's got. Her singing voice is pitchy, I think is the polite term. I never enjoyed listening to her sing her little songs. The queen, she's really dull overall. I mean, she's got a nice character design, much like Snow White does, but that's about it. She doesn't really do much. Aside from the whole, you know, turns into the witch, brings her the apple, tries to squash the Seven Dwarfs with a boulder thing. Other than that, she really doesn't do a lot. And the prince, he might as well not be in this movie. I think he gets about 4 or 5 lines of spoken dialogue and a song. And not even a full song either, like half of a song. And I don't even remember what it was about. Something about how he loved her, I think. Maybe. And the biggest downer for me are the really freaky scenes in this movie. Like when she's running through the woods, we get that she's scared, she's alone, she doesn't know anything about the outside world. Oh, poor Snow White. Why do you have to, like, scare the crap out of us to illustrate that point? I mean, just... God, the eyes in the woods, and she's like, okay, calm down. You're scaring the children here. And then, too, I mean, just the main character dies in this movie. I mean, not just like, you know, she's asleep, like Sleeping Beauty. No, she's dead, like a corpse. They have a wake for her. They're burying her in a coffin, like a glass coffin, but a coffin, when the prince shows up and, like, kisses the corpse and they ride away. Wait, does this make this an early version of Corpse Bride? Okay, never mind. I'm getting off topic. Okay. I mean, and just, the scene where the queen transforms into the witch, I mean, my god, that scared the crap out of me as a kid. I had nightmares for like a year after I rode the Snow White ride at Disney World as a child. Just, wow. Okay, let's just throw that at small children, scar them for life, shall we? And, like I said, the wig, just, the whole movie is kind of a downer, except for, like, the ends. Yeah, they ride off into the sunset. Yay. She still died. I mean, is she completely back alive again? How does that work? It's just, why am I trying to explain this logically? It doesn't make sense. Alright, so, am I going to sit here and say that these movies are terrible and you should never see them or expose your children to them? No, I'm not going to say that. And some people really like these movies. They really enjoy the films. And in their own ways, they're not terrible. But do I like them? Heck no. But if they float your boat, don't let me rock waves on your childhood. Just, enjoy them all you want. Just please, for the love of God, leave me out of it, okay? So, to wrap this up, I'm the Sunglasses Girl. Thank you for watching, if you're still watching. See you later, guys.